Oh, hello, me again. Welcome back to UKSG Red 2025. This event, we're raising money for Crisis. You can donate with the links below the stream. We would also like to shout out BSG with their continued support. Now it's time for Reicha7 to run Squirm, a game that I'm already loving the look of. I love that pixel art, so I would just love to see it. Please take it away.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Reicha7, and with me is Tiny Tim.
Oh, I've just seen the way my name's on the layout there. I must say, this is, you're probably not surprised to see me again, because this is right up my alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very retro styled, but and Reicha is going to do an amazing job of this. This is a fantastic little game. I hope everybody enjoys.
Yes, so continuing on, we've had two of the most iconic platforming game series of all time, and now we're going to follow up with one that no one's ever heard of, so I hope everyone enjoys. And we're just about ready to go. If you guys are all good. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck.
Okay, so as alluded before, Squirm is a platformer game. It was released in 2018 by indie dev Alex Carpenter, which is impressive enough on its own, but the fact that he was like 19 when he made it is absolutely crazy for how well made it is. The story is that our little rat friend has disappeared and we have to go find him, but I've played this game before, so thankfully that will cut down the time of that. We have 6 main zones to traverse through, and before each collecting a key in each zone from a boss, and at the end of that we can then enter the final inverse world where we hopefully will find our rat friend. So this first zone is just called the Hub. It's pretty straightforward. It introduces you to the basic mechanics of the game, which at the moment is just running and jumping. We unlock a few more things as we go, and then each new world will have quite a distinct color, music, and mechanical palette, and then the final zone, well, we'll leave that for then, I think. So yeah, first boss of the game, Dr. Ludo, and we get to do one of the first little tricks after picking up the gun, because we need a gun in a platformer. So in this one, if we alternate really quickly between keyboard and controller, we can shoot twice as fast and basically skip most of the boss fight.
Nice.
Get the key, and you see me there resetting the screen a little bit. It's another thing that was added to the game in case you mess up. Basically prevents soft locks. It's really great, and it helps us skip a couple of sections. So now we've come into Zone 2, the Spookilium, where the main mechanics are you can't see anything, and we'll get our next power-up in a second. But the main one here is just visibility, and
Brilliant.
Just, jump over that. And again, great music. The music is, I think, the one thing that Alex wasn't directly involved in. I think he outsourced that, but the person he outsourced it with is a friend of his. They've collabed on other stuff before. So just got to dodge the spooky ghosts, and we can collect our next power-up, the double jump, which will make everything a lot easier. Yep. So we can bed under there, and whoops, I'll just, my bad, folks. Try that again.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
There's so many influences for this. I mean, that first level gave me Undertale vibes, but this level here is, and I'm obviously the double jumping, except I'm getting sort of Celeste, sort of Meat Boy sort of vibes as well.
So these guys are completely random in when they, I'm just going to take this safe, they're completely random in how they throw their attacks. The real, if you're doing like any kind of PB pace, you kind of just have to keep running forward and hoping, but we got unlucky on that one. And there's a really horrible group of them coming up as well. These ghosts I have to just stop every now and then, because the more you move, the faster they get, so we have to sort of give them time to reset momentum. So it's these guys here. Oh, we got a really good cycle there, so we can just skip them entirely. And then we've got this guy who can catch people out. It's very funny when it does. It's the absolute run. It means the run's cursed if that happens. And we're just about to come up to the second boss, who used to be an absolute nightmare prior to the discovery of the double shot technique that we'll do again. Because he was just completely RNG. He would fly at you, had to jump all over the arena, but now we can just kill him in basically like 7 seconds if I don't reset the level first, because I'm spamming the controls too quickly. Apologies.
I'm trying to give you a hand at the bottom there of the screen.
Yep, and there we go.
Nice.
And as you can see, the keys come down, but I kind of lied when we said we need 6 keys. We actually don't. We only need 5. For some reason, his key doesn't actually open anything. We just need to defeat him to open up the next area. Quick warning for everyone, the color's about to get very bright.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, don't play this game in a super dark room. So we're in the ice world, and I'm sure you can guess what that means. It means ice physics. So we have to navigate through this and push these sort of ice blocks, and then try not to touch the spikes as we slide through them. And then there are other ones where we can build up the ice, get a bit of momentum for some of the jumps to speed bits up. Yeah. And we just carry on through. Nothing too particularly fancy about
Loving
Ice
every
World.
second of this. This is brilliant.
We get these horrifying fellows. But yeah, well, yeah, and great music. This is actually, it was interesting. In one of the latest updates, this is the one bit of music that changed. I don't know if there'd been like feedback or something. The music was quite distinct previously, and I think it could, if you were doing it a lot, I think it could maybe it was getting a bit too much for folks. But yeah, we'll just dodge through these icicles here. I mess that up every single time in practice, so I'm really happy I got it first try here. Yeah, so just while I make it through here, if there's anything you guys want to read, fire in.
Alright, sure. So we do have a £5 donation from Duck with 2 C's. Quack, quack. Having so much fun in my first UKSG event. Quack.
Hell yeah. Alright, next boss time, King Fatty. So we defeat him by chucking penguins at him.
As you do.
Why not? Oops. This guy can do some absolutely awful patterns. He's doing okay just now. Yeah, his behavior's pretty good just now.
I love the eyebrow on the cloud.
Oh yeah, oh he'll come back. So that's King Fatty defeated. We can pick up his key, but we're not going to, because when I said we needed 5 keys, I was actually lying. We only need 4. Normally I would pick that up because there's no reason not to, but just out of pure, why not? I actually had to double check that in practice that I could definitely skip the key, and I hadn't convinced myself I couldn't because I'm so used to just picking it up. So this one normally meant to jump over there, but instead you can just drop down, shoot really quickly, and kill yourself. And I made that look really cool. That's like one of the only times I've ever got that first try.
Nice.
So section 3 of the castle. The big thing here is breakable blocks, as you can see, and we need to activate 3 switches to get into the mini boss room because we don't have a proper boss here. This is where something about Squirm's controls come in. So this place can be really awkward because a lot of the level is built up on, because everything's destructible, is built up on single blocks, and there's something a bit dodgy that can happen with the physics where you'll slide up against a block and it will think you've collided with the block above you, and as a result you'll just lose all your momentum instantly. Can I make that? No. Am I timing a bit wrong there? I am. Sorry, I've completely thrown this off. My apologies.
No, take your time. Doing great. Very good.
We'll just wait it out this time.
Yeah,
if you're super quick, you can like thread through that really fast. We've got some rising lava here, and yeah, almost hit the momentum loss there. But we can carry on. Get switch number 2, and now we just have to make our way back through all that again. But thankfully, they've made the route a little bit easier for the return. Yeah, before one of the major updates to this game, this section used to be an absolute nightmare. Like, getting stuck on the physics was just getting stuck with the collision and having the physics mess up was just worse and worse. It's been improved steadily. There's been 3 major versions to this game, and one of those versions will be very significant in the next section, which I'll get to when we get there. But yeah, like one of the most recent big update did improve that physics issue or that collision issue a lot. So I'm very grateful to that. Like the number of resets has decreased dramatically since the major version update, which has made it a lot more fun to run, which is always good. Even if it's, I guess, technically a little bit slower than running the previous major version. But again, we'll cover why that is in a second. So now we just get to fall all the way down the tower. Didn't quite make it there. So next boss is some copyright infringement, and we'll just dodge him right there. So we just got to bait out his attacks and hit the levers, and we'll drop him in the lava. Now, can I do this one? Am I brave enough? Oh, it can be such a pain. Your momentum can really get you there. And now we just have to sit through a cutscene for ages. So if there's anything you want to read, now is a great time.
Alright, cool. I would just like to tell people, if any of you are watching right now are interested in finding out about other marathons or submitting to UKSG in the future, don't forget to check out Angus.io, where you can find information about upcoming marathons, the games being played, schedules, and more.
Awesome. Yeah, this guy just hangs out here. In the speedruns, we do this. We time in game time now normally, so it makes sections like this fine. Because if you need to like take your hand off the controller for a second, it's great. But yeah.
I do have a question. Is that our rat? Maybe.
Kind of.
It looks a little bit ratty.
Yeah, it's a bit ratty. It's not. The story is. Yeah, so this text here is really weird. I originally thought it was intentional, but no, if you shoot too quickly, his entire text just messes up and it's super fast, which is super good for RTA. So we actually finally got a key, because as I said, we do actually need to get some of the keys, despite my earlier assertion. So next section, we've got a big tower to climb. The main thing here is there's flies that will sometimes spit at you. They're really horrible. We've got these circular orbs. And this will be a section where the updated control scheme really comes. Ooh, wow! First time for that. That's a surprisingly difficult little jump to thread through. I would say it's pixel perfect, but that would be giving myself far too much credit. So no, but it is pretty tricky. Get up here, get a little shot off there. Just why not? So yeah, now we have a jetpack section. We have 75 out of 100 coins to collect, and this section changed the most with the latest version update. It used to be that the jetpack's acceleration was absolutely insane, like it was so easy to accidentally accelerate into something and kill yourself, so it's slower. It's a slower section to play now if you play 3.x, just undeniably, but it's like
much easier to control,
so you can actually like less runs die under the new version, even if they're not necessarily the fastest possible. But I think that's a fair trade-off in this case. So yeah, we're just going through this route. I mean, it's probably a route that we need to. I think we've got a good cycle here as well. It's probably a route that maybe needs some updating. We kind of discovered it and it worked for everyone. I'm sure there probably is like a slightly more optimal route. So collect the last 3 coins, accelerate to the top, and then we've got this last little bit. You can see these arrows being shot at us as well. They will come back later. They're like one of the tower's big things. So we can quick fly. The key will just land on us anyway, so I don't even need to wait for it. And now we get to go into my favorite zone. So as you can see, we've got 5 keys. Don't worry about the 2 empty slots there; it's fine. Get in the little spaceship, and we get to go into outer space, which, in my opinion, is where the music's at its best, the color palette's at its best. Mechanically, it's quite interesting because we move from single-screen levels to scrolling levels, which means you have to be on the ball for a lot longer. Yeah, we are now in outer space, and it is cool. So, big thing here, we've got these horrible space ghost things. I have completely messed up this cycle, so I'm going to have to wing it, but that's fine. Got these strange patterns for everything. That actually was not too bad in the end. Like, I've mentioned before, I'm playing this game on controller. The reason you want to play it on controller is because even though it has keyboard support, the arrow keys are a bit bugged, and if you transition to a new level with an arrow key held down, it doesn't maintain your momentum, so you have to like physically release the key and start again. Controller, you don't have to do that, so it is just the optimal way to play. And some of these levels in space, the cycles are quite tight to you having momentum as you enter it, so that's why I'd always recommend playing it on controller. I was going a bit too fast there. But as you can see, there's much more of a significant run back, but it also means that the dev is able to do some more interesting stuff with the level design. I say that as I go through a very flat level, but you'll see. Just got to dodge all the...
You weren't wrong about the music, it's brilliant.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I love this zone. And I think on top of everything else, the game has it's got like a really nice difficulty curve as well. Like space is a step up from like a lot of the others, but each of them do genuinely feel like they're a bit of the spec up. Like the Spookilium, you know, has the I deign to say that's never happened before, but there's been a couple of those, but I'm just not saying them all because it'll become a running joke otherwise. Oh, you just saw the momentum there. You saw
momentum.
My movement speed just completely got killed as I brushed up against it, which you wouldn't expect because this is like a solid, just solid thing. But yeah, it's just the collision be weird in this game sometimes, which can be off-putting. Like I've lost a number of PBs to just randomly brushing up against a wall and stopping, which is really frustrating. You know, the solution is to just not have to brush up against the walls, but it inevitably ends up happening so often. But yeah, and the next mechanic of space is we go upside down for a little bit, and the controls all invert, which isn't too bad in the main bit. There's a secret area that you have to do for 100% that is a real pain. So, space, we have a mini-boss. Oh. He's not very nice.
Definitely not.
So, but we've dealt with him. And we can now progress.
I just want to interject here that the other game that really comes to mind, having watched this now for a bit, is VVVV.
Yes,
very much comes to mind.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I absolutely love these art style, especially of the characters. They look so silly. I absolutely love them.
That normally works. I'll not do it that time. I know other inspirations have been, or other sort of game... Sorry, I am... These suns are annoying. You shoot them and then all the planets just come flying towards you, and if you miss one of the shots, it completely messes everything up. So this section is called what I call the Gauntlet. It's one of the sort of longest, hardest single levels, and I hope I've done that correctly. I think I have. The suns in this one at least are on a bit of a cycle, so there's some predictable stuff that I can do, like if I... Whoop, bit slow there, but we're all good. We made it, yes. And now we're up against the boss for the area. So this is pretty much an auto-scroll. We're 3 phases, and the only thing I need to make sure is that I take no more than 2 hits in phase 1 and 2, and then phase 3 is basically just GG at that point. So I'll just do this. If there's anything else that you want to read out, fire in.
I mean, sure, we do have a £25 anonymous donation. You are doing a great job, everyone. Less than 3. It sure would suck if Argic was about a foot away from me and started this whole debate again.
Why is it less than 3?
Okay, so phase 1 went well, and now phase 2 is going okay. Perfect phase 1 and phase 2. So the reason you want to take less than 2 damage is if you take 6 you die, but in phase 3 we can actually just sit right in front of him and he pretty much just won't shoot us. There's a random chance it'll happen. On average it'll happen a couple of times. Occasionally I've seen it happen 3 times. Once ever I've seen it happen 4 times. But he's being very well behaved today. Yeah, high impact gaming here.
There we go.
That is insane. Okay, that has actually never happened before.
Good job.
I've never 100%ed no hit that one. And as we see, we have all 6 keys. You know, don't worry about the 2 we didn't pick up. We've got them all.
Got them somehow, yeah.
Yeah. They just appeared. They found their own way here. It's good. So now we enter the inverse world, which we start with our abilities taken away from us, and we basically go through a sort of a quick fire of all the zones we've been before. So we'll see all the mechanics from all the previous worlds in sequence, but a little bit harder, and everything's in this sort of complete monochrome palette. It's really cool, but it's pretty tough. And you'll hear remixes of all the tracks from those different zones as well, which is pretty cool.
I will be absolutely playing this game after.
Yeah.
Once I get
Honestly,
the opportunity, it's brilliant.
I do think it's I do think it's like an underappreciated gem. Like it's so great. It's really cheap on Steam as well. So if anyone's looking for a little platformer to pick up, either just casually or to speedrun, I would highly recommend this because I'm pretty much the only person running it at the moment. So I would say that the records are there for the taking as well. We thread that. I think that's got. If we thread that quickly, we can. Yep, we can go under the icicle there. Yeah, there's a few, like, some of the tech we had to change because when version 3 came in and changed a lot of the input stuff, a lot of tricks like had to change slightly, and that was one of them. You used to be able to just walk forward. I don't know what happened there. I didn't press jump. I just died anyway.
Ended up in the roof, yeah.
Yeah. We have to hit this ice block. It used to be that you could very occasionally walk off the edge there, but you had to line up the last frame of your animation before to a very certain point. We were never able to figure it out, and then version 3 fixed it anyway, so we stopped worrying about it. So yeah, so we've done ice, we've done hub, and now we're into inverse Spookilium, which is basically this. I mean, yeah, you just can't see anything, but thankfully I've hopefully played this enough that I remember where most stuff is.
Where it is.
And they dropped that one pretty quickly, to be fair. Now we get into the castle inverse, which is just these sort of orbs.
Loving the remix music.
Yeah, it's great. And now we just need to retrieve our double jump from up there. That jump just in time. This is a place where the momentum loss can be a real nightmare. But we got the double jump, so we're back on track again. And now we're into the one after this, the last castle bit, and now we're into the tower. This is where the triangles get really, really aggressive. You'll see in some of the later sections they're pretty relentless, like just everywhere, you know. So you've got no time to stop and breathe. Every spot is a danger zone, but it's cool. So there's our gun, and let's see if I can get this next jump. I'm usually okay at it. Yep, there we go. Now this bit, just you walk forward and then back, and we got that as well. That was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Really cool.
And now we come into like the final stretch of the inverse world, where we get a jetpack and our gun gets upgraded, so we can just hold down X and just shoot to our heart's content. This is another section that was very heavily changed with the 3.0 controls update for the better, I think. Like some of these bits, you could climb the section much faster before, but Now, as we enter this last section, this screen here was my most hated of all time because the pipes were so much closer together. It was like Flappy Bird level horror show, and I lost dozens of runs to that last screen. But now it's fine. Again, a little bit slower, but the fact that I can actually finish runs is.
It's really interesting that they obviously have made fairly major changes through the updates,
Yeah.
which is really, really interesting.
The guy's been really supportive of the speedrunning community because version 2, which was the most popular one for a while, added this speedrun timer, which I've been holding off until now, and added achievements named after all the original speedrunners for completing the game in certain times. So, no, the guy was like amazed that like one of the biggest parts of the community was the speedrunning community. Yeah. So here we go, final boss time. But yeah, the occasional screen flash just as a warning. It's not super frequent, but just for precautions. And now we've just got another big cutscene to mash through. So, any final things to read before we hopefully do the last boss?
Yeah, I would just like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold regular gatherings in the Netherlands and have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past events, among other things. Mark your calendars, because BSG Plus is from February 22nd to March 1st, and it will be streamed on twitch.tv/BSG_marathon.
So, yeah, so we've just got this last little bit. He's very upset with us.
Having a bit of a
Yeah.
problem there, yep.
Yep, shoot, 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 pew, 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 shoot. Okay, so we just need to hit him a little bit, and then this will trigger the actual boss fight.
I'm dead.
I love the game's humor in this dialogue.
Yeah. Oh, when you sit and talk to some of the NPCs, it's like, it's bizarre. Okay, so final boss fight, there's 3 major mechanics. There's these cog things you can shoot out, which are like fairly straightforward. We need to destroy both his tentacles. Sometimes they glitch out like that, don't worry about it. There's my least favorite thing, which is these shadow orbs for safety. I'm just going to actually sit and kill them. Normally I'd try and YOLO it a little bit and try and push the phase. We shoot this thing, and then we rinse and repeat, and just hope for good RNG that isn't shadow orbs, but we're not getting that to us today. But because dying to this guy, you're looking at like a minute time loss from the reset. Oh, and he's doing it again. Wonderful, we love it. And these orbs can just bounce anyway. I swear that they deliberately try and bounce in a way that they'll hurt you. I am gonna, just gonna shoot one of those for safety. I want to take it. I do want to be safe with this. My practice runs earlier in the week were horrific RNG, and it. I think I had like 5 resets on this guy on one of them. So just want to be very cautious. Time will be coming up as he'll pull us into his mouth, and then it will fade out. So get ready. I should have started that later. And time.
GG!
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to eat you.
Wait a second. What is that? IGT. Sorry, I just need to check something, because that might be... It did feel like a pretty good run, to be fair. I should probably have memorized this, to be fair. It would have been a lot more impressive if I could just say it. Oh. No, sadly not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Not too far, but yeah, thank you anyway. And RTA 2152, yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. But yeah, thank you everyone, that's Squirm. We didn't actually find our rat friend. Spoiler alert, you have to do 100% for that.
Oh.
He's eaten us and that's it, game over.
Fair enough.
100%, you go and collect, you have to collect a star in each of the secret areas, in each of the areas that we visited, and then you get a sequence of incredibly nightmarish levels, and then you get your rat friend back and it's all good, and you retire on a beach together. It's lovely. So maybe another time, but yeah, let's see how we did. I can't remember if it'll give us our speedrun rank as well, because he included that. Oh no, no stars. Show that you have more skills so that you have the opportunity to find your purpose. So yeah. But yeah, I want to thank UKSG for letting me do this run. This is my first ever in-person speedrun, so I had a great time. Thank you, Tim, for the commentary.
Thank you so much. Amazing stuff.
Thank you, everyone else, for watching, and thank you, Jay, for the host. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just have to say, I absolutely loved everything about that game. It was like Celeste meets Undertale Bullet Hell, and I absolutely love the art style and the dialogue, and just, oh, I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm playing it in my
too.
hotel room when I get back.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so to close, we have the next run. We have Echo Point Nova with Steamer 10. We'll see you there.